Welcome to another episode of The Financially Free Investor, where you will learn information and strategies on how to become financially independent by investing in real estate, something that is not taught openly in our society today. Financial freedom matters so you can live a bigger life, retire early, and do what matters most to you. Get ready to hear tried and true methods to becoming financially free with your host, Jordy Clark.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Financially Free Investor Podcast. Today I want to talk a little bit about financial freedom through real estate. We talked a little bit with Matt Strong about this, and I really wanted to go deeper on it because I think it's super important. And, in my market here in Salt Lake City, Utah, we have had just exploding prices and exploding rents for the last couple of years. Well, really, 2008, 2009 happened. We saw about a 30% decline in prices from 2009 to 2012. 2012 was really the bottom of the market. Started getting better in 2013, started getting better in 2014. It was still pretty bad. That's when I got my real estate license and I started helping investors purchase rental properties. Since then, I've sold well over 650 houses, which is a ton of houses. The average agent sells 1 to 3 houses a year. So we've really been helping investors at a high level move towards financial freedom. Just a couple of things that I've seen over the years. Fast forward from 2014 to 2016, I was at Keller Williams, great brokerage. I had bought my first rental and I sold it. I bought that for $121,000. I sold it because I thought we were at the top of the market. Gary Keller had kind of been calling for a shift in the real estate market. He thought we were going to go downwards in pricing again. And again, this is 2016. So we sold the first rental property we bought. I think we sold it for $165,000. So we made a few bucks on it. It cash flowed really well. Fast forward to today, that same house would probably be worth $400,000 to $450,000. Definitely don't regret selling it. I wish I still had it. I wish I would have held on a little bit longer. It was a little bit older house. There was some issues and we sold that to go and build our primary residence that we were in for a few years. And that was a great house for us. We still hadn't grasped the concept of living on less than you make and investing the difference. We kind of needed just some life to happen to us, and it did. And that's great. Kind of going along the same lines of, achieving financial freedom through real estate. Had I just bought a few houses, even though I maybe thought the market was not going to continue to appreciate, I just bought good deals that, at the time rents made sense. I got a good mortgage on it and kept the difference as cash flow. I'd probably be further along than I am today. However, there was a good 3 years where I seriously thought we were at the top of the market from 2016 to 2019. And we didn't buy one property. Again, we had some other life stuff happening to us, which is fine. But we moved and then we took the difference of equity and we bought our primary residence, put 10% down. And then we took the other, we probably had another 60,000 or so. And we bought a rental property with it. The cool thing is we still own that rental property today. I thought we were at the top of the market when we bought both of those houses in it was either 2018 or 2019. The cool thing is we were not at the top of the market. It has gone up substantially. Rents have gone up substantially. My payments have stayed about the same. And we've kind of just been on this continuous journey. And this is what's most important and kind of been bugging me lately is prices right now in Salt Lake and the greater metro Salt Lake area are just through the roof. New construction townhouses are going for $550,000. Single family homes, it's hard to find under $700,000 that are new construction. At least you can definitely get older ones for significantly less than that. The median price right now for a house in Utah is just over $600,000. So, by all accounts, it's significantly more expensive than it was when I started my real estate career in 2014. Here's the catch though. We could totally be at the top of the market. And I don't know what market you're in nationwide. They typically follow trends, but could absolutely be at the top of the market. Interest rates going up could slow us down. That could cause inventory to rise. Inventory rising could cause people to take a little bit longer because now there's more options and they don't have to make a decision in 3 days or 3 hours or 3 minutes. like the last couple of years have been. It's been nuts. But that's a good thing, right? Because if you're making a life decision in a few minutes or based off of pictures, sight unseen, that's not a great recipe, and it's definitely not sustainable. So the point I'm getting to is, I just think that real estate prices in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from today are going to be worth a heck of a lot more than they are today. Now, granted, the dollar is going to be worth a lot less. And so, everyone's going to be making more money, and rent's going to go up, and car prices are going to go up, and food prices are going to go up, and just kind of the way of life now. I remember back in high school when you could, go get a soda for 25 cents or 50 cents. And now you go to the same vending machines and they're almost $2, right? It's just more expensive, but people still get along. People need a place to live. And that's where you can come in and you can provide a great house for a family that takes good care of it. And over the next 10 years, let's say you have 2 or 3 families move in and out. You can be a part of their life story by allowing them to live in your house in exchange for a modest rent amount, right? Definitely follow the market and increase rents every single year if rents are increasing. Don't be afraid to do that, because, if someone moves into a 4-bedroom house and their rent's going to go up $100 a month or $150 a month, from $2,500 to $2,650, they're probably not going to move over that. Now, if it goes from $2,500 to $3,500, they'll reevaluate for sure, unless that's what the market did, and then they really have no other options, right? I mean, take care of your residents. They're essentially a business partner with you. They're agreeing to take care of the house while you own it, and it goes up in value, and hopefully rents go up over, a decade, which I'm fairly confident they will in most areas in the nation, especially in some high growth markets. Like here in Utah, we've got large mountain ranges to the east and the west of us, and then we've got these large lakes right along the Wasatch Front, the Great Salt Lake and Utah Lake, and it's just really hard to build houses on a lake or on top of a mountain. So we're going to run out of land at some point in time. Whether that's in 5 years or 50 years, doesn't really matter. The land is just going to get more valuable, kind of like it did in San Francisco. So if you look at things on a long enough time horizon and you buy even one house a year and let the tenants pay it off, and, year over year, you're making a little bit more money, and then you buy another house, you're making a little bit more money. And if you can be disciplined and take that extra cash flow, pretty soon you can start putting it in one account, and you'll have enough that your rentals will buy you a rental. And that's when it gets really cool, because it starts growing really, really fast. I remember when we bought back into the market, when I thought it was at the peak in 2018, it was just a couple $100 a month that we made on our first rental. Not that big of a deal. And we didn't really touch it. We just kind of let it accrue, and something would go wrong and that extra money would take care of it. So you do that 2, 3, 4, 5 houses, all of a sudden, you start making a little bit more every month, and this account grows a little bit quicker. And then, all of a sudden you kind of built up enough that you're like, hey, I've funded all of my reserves, if that's what you want to do, or I've got enough that we can buy another rental. And that's when it gets really cool, because it starts taking this exponential increase up as long as you don't touch those returns and you reinvest them, right? Same thing applies to the stock market or really anything we do. The cool thing is with real estate is you can take, we'll say $500,000 for an average home. You can take 20%, $100,000, and you can buy that $500,000 house. Well, if that house goes up in value 5% a year, that's $25,000. So, in 1 year, that house is worth $525,000. Well, that's going to compound, and you guys can do the math on this, but just kind of look out and be like, well, if we just had 5% appreciation over the next 10 years, how much would this $500,000 house be worth? And then, you can also look at a mortgage amortization chart and see what you would owe, assuming you didn't refinance and pull any cash out and go buy anything else, go on vacations or whatever. But pretty quickly, you can start doing the math and figure out that financial freedom through real estate can happen a lot quicker than you give it credit for. Most often, though, we get so stuck on, well, the goal is just so far away, right? But if we just focus on, hey, this is where I'm at, wherever you're at, whether you're just starting or you've got a few rentals, or take your single families and go into apartment complexes, whatever that may be, here's where I'm at. Look back, and a lot of the times we don't do this, but look back and go, man, this is how far I've come. How cool. Versus what most of us do is we hop on social media and see someone that's doing more than us, and we go, gosh, why can't I just be doing that? Yet we all have different stories. We have different trajectories. We have different paths. Life has happened to each one of us in a different way. And we really shouldn't compare ourselves like we do, because it slows us down, and then we get stuck in our head and we're like, well, I can't do that. So guys, I just want to encourage you that wherever you're at, you can buy your next rental property. You can keep going. You can buy your first property. You can turn your owner-occupied house into a rental if you want, or you can sell it and then take the money and go buy a rental and buy a single family that you're going to live in, or whatever your situation may be. I'm always here to encourage you guys and help you. That's why we're doing the podcast. Man, I'd love it if you reached out and let me know how we can help you on your journey of investing, becoming a financially free investor, going from a spender to a saver to an investor. So I hope you guys found value in this. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Financially Free Investor. If you found value in this episode or know someone who would find value in this information, please share with them, subscribe, and send us a review.